Everybody, thank you for joining us. I'm Jano Lieber, MTA Chair and CEO, and I'm here with Justin Vonashek, who runs this amazing Metro-North Railroad, the on-time performance king of the hill, the MTA C&D president who's building this project, Jamie Torres-Springer, Chief Accessibility Officer Quamela Arroyo, but we've got a couple of stalwarts from elected official land. My friend Jeff Dinowitz is working on 2 or 3 hours of sleep because the assembly only finished up in the middle of the night. Thank you for being here. And Jamal Bailey, who is the head of the Bronx delegation in so many ways, representing in the Bronx in the New York State Senate. We've also got the Botanical Garden president, Jennifer Bernstein, and new entrant, Council Member Eric Dinowitz. Thank you for being here. Listen, everybody in this group, and I think everybody out there, is invested in building better transit service for people in the Bronx. One of the priorities that the MTA has executed on, and it makes me most proud to be in this job, is that we are finally prioritizing giving Bronx residents real Metro-North service. And in the last couple of years, we have increased Metro-North service to the Bronx, both directions, by like 60%. And it's not, as I say, it's not only going to Manhattan, because not everybody is going to a job in the center of Midtown, but it's also going north. When you stand on the platform at Fordham in the peak hour, you'll see as many people going north to jobs in Westchester and Connecticut as going south to the Central Business District. We are making jobs and opportunity available to folks in the Bronx. They deserve it. This project is designed to create a better customer experience for all those Bronx riders. We've got 3 Metro-North stations, Botanical Garden here, but also Williamsbridge and Woodlawn, that are undergoing major renovations, including new accessibility upgrades. This is a project funded in the 2020 to 2024 capital program, but it really reflects the priorities of the MTA's new capital program that was enacted by the legislature under the governor's leadership. Literally, final approval came through yesterday. So the reason I say that is it is a state of good repair project. We have platforms that are literally collapsing here, and we have prioritized state of good repair in the new capital program. But it's also all about accessibility, making sure that everybody, regardless of their mobility issues, can use mass transit at every one of our stations. So I love this project. I love being in this part of the Bronx. I love being with Shanifa Riera, who lives a few short blocks from here and commutes on this. Shanifa Riera is the Chief Customer Officer of the MTA and lives in this neighborhood. But we're going to have to take these stations out of service to some extent with long outages, and that's a huge impact. But that's the way you get projects done fast, and we want them up and running in peak condition, platforms that aren't collapsing, full accessibility as soon as possible, so everybody can take advantage of the fact that the Metro-North Railroad, ladies and gentlemen, has 98% plus on-time performance, which is out of sight. So we're thrilled about this project. I'm going to turn it over to Jamie Torres-Springer to talk a little bit more about it, and then we're going to hear from our great supporters in Albany as well. Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. It's great to be here to announce major investments in these 3 consecutive Metro-North stations here in the Bronx. The accessibility and infrastructure upgrades that we're making here reflect our commitments to equity, accessibility, and safety, and they're going to make a huge difference for thousands of Metro-North riders every day. We're ramping up this work. This package adds 2 more ADA accessible stations. Botanical Garden is already accessible, but getting vast improvements made to it. That'll make a total of 63 of Metro-North's full-service stations accessible, and with the addition of more stations in our 2025 to 2029 capital plan, we'll be up to 85% of Metro-North full-service stations accessible. This is part of a huge investment that we're making in the future of Metro-North service. As the chair said, The plan that was fully funded and approved last night, has almost $8 billion in the capital plan, this historic investment in Metro North service, and it's a $68.4 billion capital plan in total, and we're not wasting any time getting going. We're on the cusp of awarding a project to re-signal the Liberty line, a portion of the A and the C line. We've got ADA stations all over the 5 boroughs, more than 60 in that capital plan, and we're moving forward with ADA stations. That includes a lot of ADA upgrades here in the Bronx. We've got ADA stations on the Long Island Railroad, and for Metro North, we're proceeding with additional work in Midtown, the Grand Central Artery, to improve the train shed. That's where 98% of Metro North service runs. And of course, and we've talked a lot about this with our elected officials here, improving the resiliency of the Hudson Line. That's going to get going right away with design work to get the first section of that going. So lots of activity now. We were ready to go immediately when we got that approval. What are we doing here? At Williamsbridge and Woodlawn, we're bringing accessibility to these 2 stations for the first time through major upgrades, new elevators, wider ADA compliant platforms, which is going to make it easier for passengers, particularly at Woodlawn Station, yellow tactile edge strips, new staircases, rebuilt staircases that adhere to modern code, very much needed at these stations. And then here at Botanical Garden, we'll upgrade accessibility features by replacing the existing elevators and upgrading ramps and walkways. But more than that, we've got a lot of critical state of good repair needs here at this station. Full replacement of the canopy that we see behind us, a ton of work on the platform and elsewhere. And the phasing plan for this work allows all of these stations to stay open continuously throughout construction in revenue service. Maybe a little disruption here and there, but service will continue throughout this project. And that's something that we have a great partnership with Justin Bonashek at Metro North and his team to make sure that we continue to provide service while we're making these major upgrades. Lastly, I want to thank our project team. We've got our leadership at C&D, Anthony Tufano and Ziona Rubin. Chris Dugan is here, our project executive, and our design build contractor from MLJ, and our construction manager from WSP. It takes a lot of folks to make a big, complicated project like this work seamlessly and to keep service running, and we're deeply committed to doing that on time, on budget, as we've been doing with so many of our projects lately, and we'll be doing with this new capital plan. Thank you very much, and with that, I want to call on our Senator Jamal Bailey to make some remarks. Senator.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much for always being a man of your word. When we spoke in person, you've spoken about an ongoing commitment to the Bronx. And sometimes people have said that in many different places, but you've actually delivered on it. When the 3 of us, myself, Assembly Member and Council Member Dinnerwood, stood at the Mashulu Parkway 4 station and needed accessibility, you heard us. And you hear us again today. These 3 upgrades are incredibly important, not just for transportation, but for recreation. If you are a father of 3 like me, and you got a 14-month-old like me who's still in a stroller, and you wanted to be able to take your son or daughter or grandchild, whoever they are, in a stroller, you may not be able to do that. But with these upgrades, Bronxites with disabilities, visible and invisible, are going to be able to access the Botanical Gardens at record numbers. This is going to increase our cultural appreciation in the borough for individuals who otherwise would not be able to access it. And access is a great and incredibly important thing, not just for Botanical Gardens, but I live by the Williamsbridge station. If I wanted to take the Metro North at the conclusion of the station, I can take my stroller, get on with the widened ADA walkways, and come here to witness one of the greatest natural resources that we have in the entire country, not just the city or the borough. And so this is not just people getting on a train or getting off of a train or mass transit. Those things, you know those things are important. I can't tell you that. But what I'm telling you is about how it affects real people on a daily basis. People who want to enjoy the beautiful green space in this incredible borough. So I'm excited about those projects. I'm excited about the capital plan. I'm excited about the upgrades. I'm excited about everything that this project has to offer. Chairman, again, you've been a man of your word. You stuck through it, and I look forward to even greater things coming from you, the MTA, and like you always said, the MTA is indeed going your way. Thank you very much. I get to introduce somebody who's working on very little sleep, but working very hard for you. The delegation chair, the Dean of the Bronx delegation, the assemblyman from the 81st Assembly District, my good friend, Jeff Dinowitz.
Thank you, Senator Bailey. It is so great to be here on this spot. Why? Because the Bronx Botanical Gardens is perhaps my favorite place on the entire planet. This is great, and the fact that people can come here and they don't have to necessarily drive to get here is really important for the people of the Bronx, for sure. So every improvement that's made here is huge for the Bronx. I want to thank you gentlemen for everything you've done, not only for this project, but in general. We have seen so many improvements in recent years. You know, tonight, I'm going to the Yankee game tonight. First time this year. I don't get out much. Am I driving? No. It's a nightmare. I am going to go to the Spuyten-Duyvil station of the Metro North Hudson Line, and I'm going to get on the train, and 10 minutes later, I'm going to be at Yankee Stadium. It's amazing. It's amazing. And one day, we will have West Side access on the Metro North line. But we've been advocating, particularly for the Woodlawn station, Senator Bailey, Councilmember Dinowitz, and I, for a while now. It needs upgrades. It needs accessibility. And being able to navigate the station if you have any kind of disability or anything that slows you down, if you're pushing a baby carriage, whatever it is, we don't have that right now in Woodlawn, and we will have that. So for the people in Woodlawn and Wakefield who use that station, that's going to make a really big and positive difference in their lives. So I can't wait till this happens. I know it's going to take a little while for it to happen, but I can't wait to be here. You know, we love to show up at groundbreakings, but you know what's greater than a groundbreaking? A ribbon cutting. And we will be there. We want to see that project come to fruition, but I'm really grateful to all of you for making this happen, and I'm grateful for the partnership I have with our elected officials. We can get things done when we all work together. So thank you all, and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Quimel Arroyo, and I have the distinct pleasure of serving as the MTA's very first Chief Accessibility Officer. Folks, I love days like today when we get to celebrate the universality that is access. Senator and the other legislators, thank you so much for being here with us today. It really takes a village to do this work that we do, so I want to thank you for helping us tell that story. And I want to thank Jan Lieber and the entire team at the MTA, people like Shanifa, Jamie, Justin. We've done an amazing job helping sell the value proposition of what we do at the MTA. This is not your parents' MTA, folks. We are committed to a new agenda at the MTA, one that leaves no one behind. Because as you heard before, accessibility is universal. This project that we're announcing here today is not just for the 1 million New Yorkers with disabilities. It is not just for the 150,000 births that we see in New York City on average every year. Those strollers, 150,000 new strollers hitting our pavement, hitting the sidewalks, coming into our systems. This is really for everybody to have the access to independence, to move around on their own time, to get to school, to get to work, but to come to the Botanical Garden and enjoy all that is happening at this place. I will say, I also love this place. The orchid show that just closed was amazing. The train show, the Christmas lights. Guys, if you're not coming here, you are missing out. I just want to say to my team here, thank you for continuing to push the agenda for accessibility. Jamie noted 63 stations are accessible. I like to say 70 because Jamie holds a really high bar, and that is fully accessible stations. But we have 7 other stations where we have accessibility on each side. We haven't made intra-station accessibility work yet, but we are 70 stations accessible here. So I am so happy of this team. We keep pushing that agenda. We are not checking off that ADA box. We're going beyond the ADA and delivering truly accessible systems for all. So thank you, team, and thank you all for celebrating this with us. Unas cuantas palabras en español, porque para mí es un gran placer estar aquí hoy con este equipo de la MTA. Este no es la MTA de sus padres. Este es un nuevo elenco que está trabajando para darle acceso a todos los neoyorquinos, porque entendemos que este trabajo no es solamente para personas con discapacidad, así como yo, pero también para familias que quieren moverse con independencia, para personas envejecedores que quieren tener acceso a todo lo que la ciudad ofrece, como el Jardín Botánico y las otras 2 estaciones que estamos haciendo accesible con este nuevo proyecto, este anuncio. Así que para mí es un placer estar aquí. Gracias a todos ustedes, gracias a los oficiales electos por siempre estar aquí junto a nosotros para empujar esta agenda. Gracias a todos.
Una otra oficial electo, Eric Dinowitz, the council member. Come say a few words.
Sí. No te preocupes, no voy a hablar en español, but, you know, there. What? First of all, I want to thank Chair Lieber, and you know he means business. If any of you know elected officials, press conferences never start on time. But like the trains, like the 98% on-time service, this press conference starts on time. And Senator Bailey mentioned it, but it felt like a few short years ago, I think it was 6 years ago at this point, where we were standing at the Mosholu station advocating for accessibility. And again, true to his word, he's building accessibility at our stations. And I remember after one of the press conferences going upstairs on the 4 train and turning around and seeing a mother pulling step by step her stroller up the stairs. And of course, I offered to help, don't worry. But as you look around, and I was a former special ed teacher, so advocating for people with disabilities is not just a passion, it was my job. And as you look around, it's not just for people in wheelchairs, it's not just for parents of newborns with strollers, it's for everyone. It's for a family member who tore their meniscus and needs to have crutches. It's for a friend who's your age, a basketball star who pulled his back and has trouble walking upstairs. It's for anyone who twisted their ankle or had a hard day at work and just needs to take an elevator. Accessibility is for everyone, and I'm particularly excited about the Woodlawn station, which is in my district. But for all the stations, you heard the chair say it, and I'm so appreciative that he's talking about this, because in the past, we've had people with a very Manhattan-centric view of our transit system and of our city and of our state, but the reality is amazing things happen in the Bronx and outside Manhattan, and our chair recognizes that people take the train to the Bronx, that the Bronx is a destination for people to go to. And I am just so excited for these projects to come to fruition, for the groundbreaking. And I can proudly say, by the way, one correction, that this is my dad's MTA, that this is my parents' MTA, that I'm proud to be in a family with, but also be represented by an assemblyman who has made public transit a passion, be represented and work with a senator, Senator Bailey, who's made public transit a cornerstone of his work. And I just want to leave it there and thank you, or as we should end, gracias a todos. Thank you.
Okay, the vote for who has the best accent among elected officials exactly, you're going to lose. There's also a healthy competition going on, as you can see, between the pronunciation of Mosholu and Moshulu. Just MTA, there's a lot of debate about that. Okay, Tim, shall we entertain the assembled press?
A few questions and then a little groundbreaking festivity. First, let's start with Samantha Liebman from New York One. Sam.
Good morning. So I have 2 questions. One is your response to this Hempstead lawsuit being dismissed yesterday, and the Taney lawsuit being amended, and this new RPA report on congestion pricing. I don't know if you've gotten a look at it, saying that delays are down regionally.
Okay. So first of all, but on the issue of what the RPA, I haven't seen the RPA report, but it sounds like it's validating what not just the MTA has been saying, but the New York Times put 3 full pages of data together in a recent edition of the newspaper, which validated what we've been saying, which is by every possible metric, by every standard, congestion pricing is a success. It's reduced congestion dramatically. It has improved drive times for people who are driving. It's improved travel times for a lot of people who are getting into the city on buses, whether they're coming from New Jersey or Long Island or on our express bus system. It has improved safety by cutting down on the number of car crashes. It's made for less honking, a more livable city for people who live near those neighborhoods. And I'm hearing from parents who live around places like the Midtown Tunnel or the Lincoln or the Holland tunnels. I am not scared walking my kids to school anymore. The road rage has subsided. It is a success by any standard. And the projections that we made about the revenue have turned out to be right on the money. How often does government take a big swing on a big controversial policy initiative and execute it pretty close to perfectly? The results are exactly as projected, and lo and behold, the public notices the benefits almost immediately. That's congestion pricing. So on the subject of the lawsuits against congestion pricing, at this point, it's pretty clear that they are all going to lose. We've been sued, as I say, in every courthouse east of the Mississippi. We've won literally every case. This most recent case actually shows how frivolous these lawsuits are. So frivolous, the lawyers didn't even show up for the big motion to dismiss. And there was and then they started fetching about how long it was going to take them to drive into the city. We advised them, please take the Long Island Railroad. It's right across from your office. In any event, they showed up. They almost immediately threw in the towel, and the case was dismissed. It's typical of the litigation so far, and I expect that will continue in all the courthouses.
All right. Any other questions? Anybody else? All right.
Okay.
Can't
Thank
wait
you
to get to
to
the
all.
groundbreaking.
I neglected to acknowledge Mets fan number one in Yankee territory, Lisa Daglian of the PCAC. But other than that, perfect press conference. Thank you, Tim. All right. We forgive you.
All right, so we're going to get the golden shovels here.
Yeah, okay.
And ground break. And then for the dozens of news organizations that are monitoring this on the live stream, we will have renderings that follow of the new stations, the upgraded stations, and a video of some of the work that has started down the line and some stills as well from that work. So that's coming up in a moment. We'll do this. The key thing, sir, is do not, whatever happens, do not get dirt on the senator's shoes, because that is really a marvel of fashion right there, matching the entire outfit. Do not get the dirt on the senator's shoes. Okay. All right, everybody, let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
One more time for the picture. Count us off, Tim.
3, 2, 1. We're having a groundbreaking. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Going to roll those renderings in video. Thanks, everybody.
On paper, though, you gotta go in. Yeah. I can't give an answer on one. Yeah. As far.
Huh?
You got it?
Oh, you know?
It's me.
Huh?
Is that the safety vest they gave
Oh, for you?
TC? Yeah.
I do it for you.